He's accused of beating his girlfriend to death. And in a hearing today, we learned a little bit more about the 911 calls made shortly after that murder. 167 Red Cross response vehicles have gone out to help out. They have 230,000 ready-to-go meals. They've already handed out close to 50,000 of those meals. And he did go on to say, as tragic as this is, we lost 2 lives. 2 more firefighters are in the hospital right now recovering from gunshot wounds. He did say that a Webster police officer exchanged gunfire with Spangler, and he probably saved lives. Troopers say they went right through that stop sign, went across this intersection, and a big truck was coming this way, Silverado, hit that car right here 15 feet from where we're standing, and then pushed both vehicles about 90 feet. An extension cord is fine if you need to reach something like a lamp, maybe a house phone. However, it is a fire waiting to happen if attached to a space heater. There are people out here on the roads of Rochester who have actually been convicted up to 6 times, but they still have their license. They're still getting behind the wheel. March 30th, USA Today said New York was the worst business place. Rochester Business Journal about 3 weeks later said it was the 7th worst. Do we need to spend money and time changing laws or running ads? DNA on the victim's fingernails, interesting text messages, and blood found in several locations. That is what jurors heard as part of the closing arguments in the murder trial of a Rochester man accused of killing an East High student. This really is a village eyesore, but it is now on its way to becoming a 167-unit apartment complex with a 125-seat restaurant. Does volunteering ever stop?
No, I don't think it'll stop.
We needed the rain, didn't we?
Right. It's just a vast change. I mean, like Kevin has been saying, last weekend was unbelievable, and now it's going to be very different.
It sure is.
For those of us who have lost a family member or even a friend, we know it's painful. We know it's sad. And today we saw all those emotions. Going to great lengths for food. It's not the story of the old man in the sea. It's a young man and a tiger shark competing for the same tuna. Tim Sakahara has the story. Deputies took several suspects into custody today for that home invasion, but before they arrested one of them, police got into a standoff with him in Rochester. I went to several websites, examiner.com, Wiki Answers, and the always reliable campussqueeze.com website. But a new study now has an official number, 49%. And the people behind the study hope that it will be the spark that ignites awareness that will save lives. The Lilac Festival kicked off today, but if you are planning on heading out there tonight, let's just say you might want to reconsider. Good evening, I'm Don Hudson.
I'm Janet Lomax. Let's go right to Kevin Williams.
In the same courthouse today, the man accused of killing his girlfriend inside her dorm room at the College of Brockport. Now, we were talking about Clayton Whittemore. For the first time, we heard what he and his parents said to 911 after police say Whittemore killed freshman Alexander Kogut. Berkeley Breen has the details on the testimony today. Joins us now live in the studio. Berkeley, if you were driving through the Dewey Avenue area this morning, you may have noticed a lot of police there. It's all because a man barricaded himself inside of a home. This is sheriff's deputies tried to arrest him as a suspect in a home invasion in Perrington from the night before. The standoff ended calmly after 2 hours, and the man was taken away by police. Ray Lovato spoke with officials for more on this story. He'll bring us all the details and what he has learned at 5:30, so stay with us. Your child's lack of sleep could be showing up on his or her test scores. This comes from researchers at Boston College and 900,000 students, teachers, and parents. These volunteers filled out surveys about sleep habits in their homes. Then they compared those responses to test scores and found that about 75% of students' schoolwork suffered because they were sleep deprived. It can be fixed, though, researchers say. Make sure kids are getting between 7 and 9 hours of sleep each night. And they also say take away those cell phones and iPads at bedtime because they're in their room using them and staying awake for
Under
hours.
the blankets with a flashlight.
Away. Exactly.
Don't need a flashlight for them. Well, there's still much ahead on News 10 NBC.
Ray Lovato joins us now with a preview of one of the stories you will see coming up. Now to a News 10 NBC follow-up. We just checked with police in Leroy, and they tell us still no arrest in a home invasion and sexual assault that happened on Gilbert Street yesterday. The police chief there tells us they are following leads which have been developed, but no arrests have been made. Investigators tell us the suspect came in through an unlocked door about 1 in the morning, this is Thursday morning, held the homeowner at knife point, and then sexually assaulted her. If you have a to-do list of home improvements, let's say maybe changing a faucet, painting a wall, you could hire both a plumber and a painter to do those jobs.
But Angie's List recommends that you hire a handyman. We needed the rain, didn't we?
Right. It's just a vast change. I mean, like Kevin has been saying, last weekend was unbelievable, and now it's going to be very different.
It sure is. Absolutely, Don and Jan.
And the number 3 RIT Tigers head to the second round of the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship, and Sports Director Robin Nguyen joins us, and it seems like the team peaking at the right time.
And that's always a good thing, isn't it?
Well, Janet, it is great to be part of this and be part of the Red Cross effort and the volunteers that are helping. I'm going to show you, this is kind of our tote board over here, where we have $8,130 right now. That is how much people have called in the Rochester area, Monroe County, this part of the upstate New York. And right here on the phone, people volunteer to take phone calls. I was going to talk to Brittany about the last two, but I'm just going to have to pick them up because she's now taking another donation. Barbara just called in with a $25 donation. Thank you, Barbara. Anthony and Barbara called in with a $50 donation. You can see right now all of our phones are busy. You can call as well, 241-4201, 241-4201. You can also pick up your smartphone. It's real easy. You take it, and normally you would send a message to somebody like your aunt or uncle or friend. Type there instead of the person, type 90999, and then in the subject line, put Red Cross, and then just send it. And then $10 will be added to your phone bill, and it will go right to the Red Cross. So it's just a real easy way to add to the contribution. So we've been getting a lot of donations here, $10, $50, $25. A guy named Richard just donated $1,000. It all adds up, again, almost $9,000. But right now we have a big check presentation that we want to take care of. Laura Saxby-Lynch from Paychecks and John Betroff, CEO of the Red Cross right here. You've got a check that we want to present. We want to do this live on the air as part of our effort to help out with the Hurricane Sandy relief victims.
Thank you, Don. It's really our pleasure. On behalf of Paychex CEO Marty Musey and the 12,000 employees that Paychex has all across the country, including 3,400 here in Rochester, I am very pleased to present to the Red Cross right now a check in the amount of $10,000 from Paychex to support the relief efforts for Hurricane Sandy. Don, we have about 567,000 clients, businesses across the U.S. that count on us. We've got branches that have been affected. We've got employees who've been affected. This means that we can support the efforts that you're doing, that you're making to support the people that we are have part of our lives every single day.
And John, your reaction to this donation and all the other ones, even though they might be smaller, but all the donations?
Well, they're all great, and we really appreciate them on behalf of the tens of thousands of people that have been dislocated by this storm and that the Red Cross is helping. We thank you. This is the only way we're able to help those people because of donations like this. So we thank you very much.
It's our pleasure, John. We're happy to do it.
Thank you both. And it is actually touching when you see this, because I know a lot of people are seeing the damage on TV and they feel helpless. And you can do just a little bit, even if it's $10, $20, make a donation to help out. We're now closer to $20,000 with this donation all in one day. So thank you, everyone who has helped out. Reporting live from the Red Cross headquarters, Don Hudson at News 10 NBC. Well, Leah, let me read you some headlines. Autistic child killed while crossing a road. Cop saves autistic child from drowning. Autistic child dies after being found in a stream. An autistic boy dies after being hit by an SUV. Autistic children wander away, even from the best families. But a new study now has an official number, 49%. And the people behind the study hope that it will be the spark that ignites awareness that will save lives.
And how old will you be?
The parents of Marius Eaton say he's an escape artist.
We've gone to the library. I've turned my eyes away, looked back. He ran through offices, got out of a window and almost fell in the canal.
The 11-year-old has autism. So unlike most kids his age, right and wrong, yes and no, and rules don't always sink in.
But he has absolutely no concept of danger.
Because of that, his house has to be on lockdown. Still, he has managed to get out, and that has led to some close calls.
Gotten out of the house, climbed the fence in the backyard, ran through the woods, wandered into the construction yard by some hole, barefoot, and by the grace of God did not get hurt.
Unfortunately, the young boy's wandering is not unique. A new study says 49% of children with autism over the age of 4 wander away even from the most dedicated parents, which is a high number because only 13% of their non-autistic siblings ever wander away.
This documents the true scope of the problem.
Dr. Susan Hyman, an autism expert at Golisano Children, says another finding is the danger these kids face when they wander. 65% have had a close call with traffic. 24% end up in a danger of drowning. Dr. Hyman says this information can help doctors and health providers understand just how prevalent the problem is and address it.
Get counseled about seat belts and get counseled about car seats, get counseled about bicycle helmets. For families of children with autism, the counseling needs to include wandering.
Of course, the Eatons don't need a safety speech anymore, and while they know they are the first line of defense, they hope the new information will help people understand their situation and raise community awareness.
If people in general just become aware that there is this population of children that really has no concept of the danger they're in, maybe as a society we'll start watching out for them.
Awareness really is the key. The Eat and Say wandering is such a big problem with Marius that they are trying to raise money to get a service dog to cut down on that. For more information on that service dog and fundraising, also for more information on the study, just go to WHEC.com and you'll find those links within my story, Leah.
All right, well, the study also, it focuses on children. Does the wandering continue for children with autism as they get older?
Well, yes, the peak time really is age 5. Now, Marius is older than that, so he's a little different than the average person. But children 4 to 7 years of age wander the most, 46%. 8 to 11 years of age, 27%, and only 12% for those children who are 12 to 17. So apparently it does decrease with age for most of the kids. It starts sinking in that they aren't supposed to wander away.
All right, Don Hudson, thank you for that report tonight.